Hello
Hello.
there.
I.
Hello, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't know what's up, so
Oh no.
you forgive me.
Yes.
Ugh. I should probably. I don't know what to do. Remember that person I told you about, Larissa, that betrayed me and my trust and hurt me? They're still on my friends list.
And.
That means every time they do something, still gotta see it. Anyway, what's up?
Nothing, just getting on ESO.
Hmm.
Gotta see if my stuff is still there. See if the account that I had before is still active and stuff like that. Because I don't know. I don't even know if I remember the login.
Oh, you can work it out. I have faith.
I'm gonna try.
I'm a bird.
Oh, I see that.
I'm a burb.
I see. I see you
I'm
flying.
burby burby.
I see.
I look for food. And by food, I mean big booty. That's a delicious meal right there. I'm gonna have to fix my sound again.
Is the sound messing up?
Can you hear the stream? You hear it getting choppy?
No. Hold on.
My god, you're static again. Freaking me out, man. Freaking me out, man. Um, but yeah, you weren't wrong. We do have a lot of stuff we want to do today.
See, I know.
Yeah, we gotta go over that processor.
Yeah, because there's still that and the other stuff.
Did you hear that? Did you hear the audio freak out for a second? mainly referring to my end, not yours. It's because my damn thing keeps resetting to 8 channels. And the headset clearly don't like it, so... And it's not saving it, it keeps changing it. I did not mean to fall into the water. I've never used this before. Now, there's a good chance this game will probably never get finished, but I figured it'd be something fun to mess around with once in a while, you know?
I've liked seeing the gameplay and stuff like game. This is really cool.
Yeah, a lot of girls, it's strange, a lot of girls are drawn to these dinosaur games, ironically, because you think, you know, think it'd be more of a male thing.
Dinosaurs are cool, so...
I'm not saying they're not, I'm just saying, like, common convention would say, because you, like, when you think of a little boy, you're like, dinosaurs, monster!
The toddler loves dinosaurs.
I know, everybody does, but the point is, it's like, you don't hear, like, that from little girls that much. So, which is, I like when it does, and, you know, there's obviously characters like that in anime that like monsters and stuff. Hell, there's even monster girls. But, no, the point being is, like, I just find that pretty interesting. I really gotta get that fish out of the water so that I can eat. And I'm literally a fish out of water because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Yeah, I got one. Look at me. And now I rest because I got no stamina left. And I'll be right back because I'm gonna make some cereal or something. I don't know. I'll figure out when I get there. I ordered the groceries, but I try to order a day ahead, but you know, like this is how it happens. Like I just been getting caught in little spirals here and there. Because I've had no one to help me. Someone help me! Somebody help me. What do you think about the long drive? It looks kind of interesting, don't it? Like just for something silly to do.
It looked weird, but also at the same time, because you can run into aliens in that game
Well, I don't know
and
how
like be abducted.
I don't know how much you looked into it, but the thing I sent you was really like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
There's more recent ones of it. When are you planning to go on vacation? I'm just curious about like what kind of time scale you're thinking about here. Like this month or next month?
Next month.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Because I was thinking, logically speaking, it probably won't be till next month. Because you know, that's just what I guesstimated. Man, a lot of scams out there. They'll to want to get to know you, and then they'll, oh, send me get something. And I'm immediately like,
Going crazy.
shook my stomach while I made that noise. Clean it up a little. Took out a little bit. Still not enough though. Still looks like a mess. Aren't you proud that it looks like a mess? I'm emotionally fat, you know.
Dude, what?
What?
What'd you say?
I said I'm emotionally fat.
Oh,
Or are you talking about something else? No?
no.
No. Oh. Oh!
Crazy.
Huh? Hey, woman? Hello?
I'm here.
It's storming.
Wasn't it storming the other day? Like, wasn't your lights flickering and stuff?
Oh yeah, it was raining yesterday. Again. You see, if you can die if you don't find some cover. You can find like light cover by staying things, but it's usually a heavy storm. You know.
I can hear the thunder.
Um. But Beast of Bermuda. Um. I don't know what to think about it. You know. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
As it's got a lot of dino.
Okay, you're cutting in and out now. I can't hear you.
I'm gonna hear your ass in a minute. Yeah. What's up, Nordic?
Q, are you washing dishes?
I still can't justify doing anything with Squad until I get a new hard drive. It's still fucking. No. Well, kind of, but no, not exactly. I'm making cereal. I'm making
Sounds like you're washing dishes.
yeah, the fucking bowl or left over. Gotta rinse it out, you know. You Neanderthal, Neanderthalian. I still can't justify installing Squad until I get another drive. I was gonna send mine in to get replaced, but I couldn't make it to the post office. So I'm gonna have to call them and see about that replacement. The lady in the office waited to the last minute to offer to help me to get it to the post office, and it was too late. Because she couldn't, something came up, so it's like, oh, you could have waited. I wish you would have asked me like earlier. What game is it?
Something off my Xbox Windows account.
You could try to add it as a non-Steam game if you can get to the exe. But usually the Microsoft Store shit locks it into a folder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the biggest problem with my last hard drive. Since Microsoft Store locked it, I had like a shit ton of gigs I couldn't free up because of the fucking store. So that's why I have more free space on this hard drive than last time, even though it's literally the same space. They're both 8 terabytes. The old one and the one I replaced it with. Because it went bad, remember? Nordic, did you see the piece? Did you see the computer that I was thinking about building?
What? No.
I sent it to you a couple days ago, and you never said anything.
Oh, you asked me if I'd heard of it, and I heard of that company. I was like, no.
No, not that. Um, Hold on. Not that. It's something else. Oh, there's some fish right there. You see that, Dory? See those fish hopping in the water?
Yeah, I see them.
What are you doing right now? Just updating?
I am trying to get out of here.
I'm flying. I'm trying to fly a flying dinosaur, Nordic. What game are you playing, Nordic?
A game?
Why don't you download some stuff you can actually play with us on?
Because there's nothing that I can download that we can play together that everybody plays.
some more fish. Like noodles. Slurp that shit up. My neck. I'm not gonna get into that, Normic. Hey Dory, what games do you have now on your Steam account? Dory?
Give me a second.
I didn't know. I can't read.
User entered your channel.
There, that is everything on my Steam. And there's like 90 or so games that I have on Epic.
I just asked you what you had on Steam.
I know, but that I just sent it to you.
So how's it going, Dory? Hello?
I'm here.
I need to know what you're going to be up to so I can plan on what I'm going to do. Hello? How's it going, John? I'm a flying bird. Hey, Dory, you back?
Yeah.
What's your plans? You gonna be, what are you gonna be doing? You gonna be doing something different, or? Dory?
What's up?
Good morning. Is that your Game Pass thing that you were talking about?
Game on my Game Pass?
Is that what that is? I just wanted to know so I can make plans. I sent you what Nordic has on her Steam right now. I sent you Nordic what Dory has. So are you gonna refund Gray Zone or are you planning on playing it again? It's probably gonna be a while before I play it because it caused my GPU to shut down. It crashed my drivers with an Unreal Engine crash. Yeah, I'll be fine, Dory. I mean, what's an hour or two gonna hurt, right? Did you manage to get your account sorted? Just do it for an hour or two, make an excuse, and then, do other stuff. But you always have the option of just being like, what I said earlier. You can always just refund it so that they don't have something to hold over your head constantly. Well, as long as you, I mean, like I said, give it an hour and a half or so. Make an excuse. If it's gonna be hard for you to refund it right now, you could do it after that. I mean, it's up to you what you decide is best. But you didn't have to make that sacrifice or anything right now because, like, we're not even really gonna be playing that much yet. Just talk to me next time, just so we'll be on the same page. That way, I can help you figure out what you're trying to work with on the computer. That way, nothing breaks. But if you are planning to go the refund route, just keep in mind few people put out. There's been a lot of like YouTube videos about people trying to exploit the refund system, so they're a lot more strict about the 2 hours thing than they were, because it's getting close to the holidays. So it's during Steam sales and stuff like that, a lot of people try to abuse the system. And every sale, or for several major sales, people put out different scams to try to run to take advantage of the refund. There's also during sales, at the moment there's a 2 week clause that they're going with. If it's not older than 2 weeks as well. The only thing that made me worry was like it could have been avoided. That's all. That's the only thing that worried me because, like, yeah, I wanted to play Elder Scrolls Online, but like, we already had other stuff we were doing, so it wasn't gonna be anytime soon. And it also depended on if Noric decided he wanted to do anything with us. But I guess not. Ouch. Okay, Nordic, what I meant to say is I keep giving you different things that we're doing, could offer, and you just basically don't do anything. And then you literally just said a minute ago there's nothing that you can play with anybody, so that ended the conversation for me for a while. So I don't know what to do. I tried everything I could. You want me to install Squad, but that's like 200 gigs.
No, it's not.
What is it, 90? Maybe I'm mixed up. I looked yesterday. Maybe I looked at the wrong game. Hold on, let me look again.
It's 80.5.
Right. And yesterday, whenever I was talking about stuff, you said you had the aisle. John's got the aisle.
Yeah,
Lori has the aisle now. I know. It's just... I'm trying to do with what I have because I'm still not feeling too great. And yesterday was particularly... I spent most of the day just laying down watching other people play stuff. Barely doing much on my own.
Yeah, the list that you sent me, I'm assuming you said that's what she has.
Yeah, that's what she
It's
got.
a lot of that stuff I don't have.
Hey Nordic, you know that boing noise you had in the background?
Boing noise?
You know, boing, boing, you know?
Something my child's watching on the TV, probably.
You wanna hear something funny?
What?
I was flying by some fish. I was flying in this bird dinosaur thing, and there was fish. I was flying by looking for fish, and the fish are jumping out of the water, and I heard boing, boing. Is the timing, you know? The timing that it came through your microphone was perfect, you know? And I screwed up and ate too much and made myself sick. Whoops. Anyway, yeah, that's what Dory's got she has on Steam. That includes Dungeons and Dragons Online. John gifted her a Vorion. Um, Freelancer and Project Reality are standalone because it deals with abandonware games, so you could just install it and go. Let me think. I don't play Star Wars: The Old Republic, so that's not an option for me that much right now. World War II Online's a little too old for you, at least in its current state. It plays like a tactical arcade shooter, but it looks old. So I figured you would like even I'm like at it because even when it came out, it was still a little under. But they've been updating all the models and stuff, and then they're going to convert it to Unreal 5. But that's not now. That's sometime maybe. Space Station 14 is. I don't think you'd be playing that much. So that leaves a few that I know you have. I don't. I've never played Destiny 2. I haven't played Path of Exile. I have Railroads Online, but I don't. Oh, John does too, but John don't really play that. But Dory plays it with me. Let's see. John has Squad, but he don't have it updated. I was. It's. Yeah, it's like 80 to 90. But I don't want to play with Squad unless it's on a different hard drive. The hard drive I have is I don't know. I have this weird feeling that it's not gonna help if I do, but if you're really serious about playing Squad, I was considering downloading it last night, but I don't know. I'm just nervous about it for some reason. I also want an excuse to play Project Reality because I kind of like it better. It has more stuff in it. Um, there's also the Starship Troopers mod. I guess we could play around with that. What do you think?
Starship Troopers is like, eh.
Well, for me, Squad is just a buggy mess. I don't. It's not like it's okay for like a few minutes, but I just don't think it's as good as Red Orchestra 2, which it tries to emulate the gameplay of. It's just not as good as a game to me. Not as solid. I never played Project Reality, and I always wanted to, and I tried it a few months ago, and I liked what I saw so far. I like that there's planes and different types of helicopters and shit going on in there. The Squad was supposed to be a Project Reality 2.0, but it's like years ago. Still doesn't have all the features. And then there's all the drama about them constantly changing how the game works. I don't know. You either camp and win in Squad, or you try to play the game and just suffer. That's how it feels. And I know that's not entirely the case, but that requires a lot of extra outside forces. So, but like I said earlier, if you're really dedicated to wanting to play Squad, I'll download it. But otherwise, there's other
I
stuff
mean,
that we can
it
do.
was fun, but like hectic. And then I'm not. I usually never get to shoot anybody because I usually just get killed before I can see anybody.
Yeah, because it's because the people that shot you were camping. And then you got then there's camo nets. You can build defenses with camo nets, and it's a one-way mirror. You can't see in, but they can see you outside of it. So you can get sniped and not know where it came from. What made me finally want to try Project Reality, aside from me just wanting to try it in general, I didn't know much about it, and I just thought Squad was just another. But I looked at some of the gameplay in Project Reality and the different stuff and how much more functional and put together it was, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta play it. But then I played it and I was like, man, that's sad. I can't play it. Nobody play it with me, other than random server people. That's why I haven't played it recently. Because there's a lot more to it. There's even like jets, and then there's like air to ground missiles. I mean, ground to air missiles and vehicles that you can use that are actually functional. You don't have like a floating gun just strapped to it. And there's helicopters and stuff on the air, on the multiple helicopters and stuff on an aircraft carrier. Don't know if they added that to Squad, but when I last played it, they didn't. And like I mentioned, Squad just runs like ass. That's why I played. That's part of why I played the modded, like Star Wars and stuff more, because it just ran a bit better. Still, you know, I just don't. I have like a. When I think about playing Squad, I'm just like, eh. I only want to play it if somebody's gonna be there. Part of the reason why Hammer wanted me to play it too a little while back. But anyway, if you're gonna be on it, I'll install it. But I just don't. I'd rather use the hard drive space or play something else that I'd be more keen to want to get into. But then again, I did hear that they. What did you think of the shooting, Nordic?
The what?
The shooting mechanics in the current state of things.
Shooting mechanics. Not too picky.
Huh? Well, I heard a lot about what was going on whenever they did their infantry combat update. And there's a lot of problems with it, but I heard that they've circled back around a little bit and somewhat changed it again. Nordic, you never had postscriptum, did you?
I never had what?
Postscriptum?
No,
Okay.
I had the other one.
Yeah. They both try to be like Red Orchestra 2 and they both fail at it in different ways. It's very obvious because I played a lot of Red Orchestra 2. Then whenever I play the other games, I can smell, I can see and feel their attempt to replicate what it does. John, how's your little carrier project coming along? Guessing John's not yours. Oh, my hand. The other obstacle I have to deal with in squad is I have to fiddle with my controls because I have mouse problems. And I'm having controller problems because this controller's fucking up my hand too. It's too small and it's rough. Every time I use it, I keep getting fucking rope burn on my hands. I gotta buy another controller to hope that helps. Know what I mean? My hand is so sore right now. Just touching my mouse is like feeling like a needle's going into my hand. Very nice, John. Very nice. I like it. Looking good. Stepping on the beach. Stepping on the beach. So yeah, it's just a mixed cacophony of things. Nordic, did you like those videos I sent you of the guy being a reporter in the Starship Troopers mod for Squad? Nordic, you never saw the videos I sent you, did you? Nordic,
What's up?
um, did you see that YouTube video I sent you a little bit ago where the guy was being a reporter in the Starship Troopers mod for Squad?
Maybe.
Yeah. Interesting, right? Are you planning on playing Squad again at any point in time?
Yeah, probably at some point.
I don't want to install it if no one's going to be playing it. You know? Know what I mean? Because, I'm worried that I'll install it and then you won't play it again.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Huh?
So don't worry about it.
What do you mean?
You obviously don't want to play it, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, well, every time I install to do some shit with you, you fuck off. And then you say I never wanted to, and it hurts my feelings. Or I get sick, or some coincidence happens while I wait, or whatever, and I just I need to be fucking sure. I got so much stuff installed that I know you have. And I'm not the biggest fan of Squad, yeah, but I'm not gonna play it if I have to play it by myself. It's not the worst game, but it's not like it's terrible either. I had a little bit of fun with it, what little I did. I just need to know what your plans are. I got Grayzone to play with you, and then I probably shouldn't have, but and I kind of like it, but it has problems running for you and me. So I was just curious if you're thinking about refunding it or not. Someone's messaging me saying that the news said that there's a solar storm coming, and
Don't listen to that. The news is always late as always.
I know, but where I live, they're
You
saying
can't see an aurora tonight.
yeah, they're also saying that for where I live. I don't know about
That
where
kind of
you are.
happens a lot as it is these days, so mm, you get hit by solar storms constantly.
No, I'm saying the aurora borealis.
Yeah.
It's it's dipping down a little bit from the north tonight, supposedly. I don't know how far, but Susie texted me and said we should be able to see it from the state that I'm in. There's this map that they have in that they came out with in Railroads Online, where where the north part of it's snow covered, and throughout the map, if it's clear skies, you can see it every night. This guy that plays Railroads Online and does a little bit of a group build and roleplay thing, he calls it Alaska. But it's the map name is called Aurora Falls. Ouch. Um, So Nordic, if you're not going to be playing squad, what are you planning on doing?
I don't know. Still trying to figure out something to do.
Well, I have plenty of options. Ouch. I have several options for you.
Just on the list of stuff that, well, there's a lot of stuff on there that either I don't have space to install, haven't played in forever, have played period, even though I have it, or stuff that I've gotten, played, got bored with it, or didn't like, got it because somebody else wanted to play it and then didn't end up playing it much.
Yeah. Well,
Like on the whole list, like, I mean, if I had space, I might put Black Desert back on, but it's not really much of a multiplayer game. Like, yeah, there's you can play with people, but it's
every every
every time we played it, it was just like, all right, they're over there doing this, and I'm over here doing that.
every quest is co-op in that game. I was
If
going
you're the
through
same
it.
level on the same quest and all, yeah, and I understand.
I was going
It's like,
through it with somebody a few months back.
I can't play Final Fantasy anymore. Don't want to play Destiny 2.
I've never played Destiny 2. I heard that it's better than it was, but the new player experience is terrible.
Must Vindictus has got better. I got bored with it pretty quickly. I
I
wish War Thunder. War Thunder is the only thing on that list that like I have installed that's something we could all play, but some people don't want to play it. So
well, we can always do War Thunder. That's not a problem, per se. So with Dory, I've been playing Railroads Online, War Thunder. I plan on playing Dungeons and Dragons Online, Black Desert, Elder Scrolls Online with her at some point. That depends on whether or not John we'll fill up for it, and whenever she gets that updated and set up. Dory has the aisle now, so she could play that as well with us.
Yeah, but there's still not a lot to do in it. It's like, okay, you run around, you eat stuff, you get bigger, you become
Mm-hmm.
an adult, you run around, you eat stuff.
Yeah, that's why it's kind of a sometimes thing.
But yeah, that's why I don't have it installed right now, because I'm just like, it was fun to try out all the dinosaurs, and then it's just like, I got burned out of it. I'm just like, okay, there's nothing to do.
Yeah, you have to play the Inverma beta branch for you to get most out
Yeah,
of it.
that's what I was playing.
I wasn't. I never played it until tried it till recently. Then you, depending on what server you're on, can also change what you can do. Cause like some servers have humans enabled.
Yeah, with the humans, you get a flashlight or whatever. You like, you can't do much.
Yeah, I didn't expect much, honestly.
They're just easy food.
Yeah. Well, I don't really know, but
Munch, munch,
yeah.
munch.
But there's um, what was
The
the other
game I
thing?
was playing, Q, was the Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I think they gave that away free on Steam not long ago.
Man, I already had it on Xbox. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. Tomb Raider Anniversary was pretty good, and Tomb Raider. Oh shit, what's it called? Underworld was a remake of two, which is pretty good too. It's using the that new Tomb Raider engine that they had when they did the Anniversary and Legends. It's pretty good. Put a couple of reshade on it.
Yeah, there's just not a lot. Like,
I gifted Dory Isle too because it was like $20
man.
with the tank crew stuff. It only goes on sale maybe once or twice a year, and it's never really that low, so might as well. I was thinking that you'd want to get it because you wanted it, so I plan to play that too with Dory. If you need a purpose to play a game, Nordic, you just play the game.
Yeah, like if I play a game and you watch, that's one thing. Like, at least you can talk to me about what I'm doing. But
I know, but I don't know if you remember a few years ago I talked to you about getting over the mentality of having to do something for a reason. You just do something and do it. I still struggle with it a little bit, but I've mostly gotten over it to some degree. What really did it for me was fucking achievements on the Xbox. That's what really fucked me up mentally, as far as like
I
wanting to.
never paid attention to achievements stuff. So
I know, but it put me in a state to where it opened me up to a state of mind that's completely negative and depressive, which is what I tried to encourage you to get out of.
I just, if I'm playing a game, I don't. I want to have some, like like I said, like not playing a game and having every time I play it, I'm starting from square one every time I play it.
Well, it depends on what
Uh,
you mean by that. Because if everyone starts
like
on even
you're
ground, there is no square one.
the
If everyone's consistently starting on the same foot, then there is no square one.
the games where it's like, oh, strategy type games, and it's like, it's a match based thing. It's like, oh, we're gonna play this map, and it's okay, and then nothing carries over. There's no carryover to anything, so to me it just feels like, okay, it's a waste of time for me, because it's like, okay, I'm playing this, I'm struggling with playing it to begin with, I get frustrated, and then, oh, now we're gonna play a different map, and it's back to square one. So I try to stay away from those type of games, because it's just,
Yeah,
I don't have the mental capacity to play those like you guys play them.
well,
That's just not my type of game.
not every game is like that, and part of the fun is figuring out how
I
you
didn't
want
say
to
that
build
every
your
game
thing.
was like that. Just saying
Uh,
those types of games, that specific type of game.
well, part of the fun with some games is just how you want to figure out how you want to do it, like make your own way of building things. But here's the thing: I brought up Red Orchestra 2, and you're like, I don't want to have to restart from square one. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, you can unlock a little doohickeys to put on the gun or a separate gun, but everyone starts on the same footing whenever you play. Like, you get to pick your squad you're in, your class, or what weapon, or whatever, depending on if you're America, Japan, Germany, Russia. Like a regular infantry will have the bolt action, of course, and then you have the other stuff like the MG. You can upgrade the magazine capacity for the MG34, and with the rifle you can put a bayonet on it, and it sticks with you regardless of what server you're on. But that's not the defining point of the game. It's not like Call of Duty where you play and you level up and you just shit on anyone that isn't leveled up. It's not like that. Everything you shoot someone in the heart, no matter if it's a pistol, they'll bleed, they'll die. There's no, oh, I'm gonna put a band-aid on my arm about it. Unless you do legit get shot in the arm, then you can put a band-aid on it.
Yeah. Shooters, I
It's
prefer
just
the
that,
PVE stuff, and I re-downloaded Squad because I'd seen a couple of people playing it again, and I was gonna try it out again. But again, it's a PvP game, and it's
it's a
frustrating.
PvP game where you can choose to play with against bots, which have multiple servers who support that. You know what I mean? Like that's where most of my screenshots are from, is me playing against bots. But nonetheless, I understand some of the things you're talking about. The point I was making was the other day, I just got a little confused about where you were coming from because you said that about everything that we tried suggesting about starting from square one and stuff, and it just confused me. And now that you're elaborating, I understand a little bit about where the misunderstanding was from.
Like, I tolerated playing Hell Let Loose. That was the other one, Postscriptum Hell Let Loose. But
Yeah,
because you level up, you can get different kits, different clothing, technically, depending on your level. I mean, I never got very
yeah,
far in it, and I just was like,
yeah. That's one of my
okay,
problems.
I tolerated it because I had people that I would play with.
That's one of my
And
problems with
it's
Hell
World
Let
War II, so
Loose.
I like World War II stuff. So it's like, okay, I like World War II. I'll give it a try. It can be kind of fun, but it's frustrating.
Yeah, I get
But
that.
there's still some prolonged, like, the thing that I did in this map. I have something that's going to carry over. I'm gaining experience to unlock a different weapon or kit or whatever you want to call it for that class, and
The thing with the
that's all. That's
thing
about it. So it's like I can only tolerate playing that for so long, and then some people I was playing that with is like that's all they want to play every day, and it's just like I could play a couple matches and that's about it, and I my brain just fried on it, and I'm just like, okay, no,
That's my
no.
problem with Hell Let Loose. It's the way they do the progression. Like, if I want to be a flamethrower guy, I can't. I have to fucking farm hours and shit in the game. In Red Orchestra 2, I ain't gotta do all that shit. I just spawn as a flamethrower guy. If I want to use a shotgun, or fucking hell, be a tank crew with the fucking repair thing, I have to farm for it. That's one of my. That's my gripe about it. It makes me not want to play. And yeah, I get the same way about Hell Let Loose. That's why I like to have multiple games with somebody that I can go in between with. Like Dory, we were playing War Thunder a couple of days, and yesterday I was like, I can't play War Thunder today. I need a break. For two reasons. One, I was sick and couldn't deal with it. So either she'd have to play it by herself, or B, we play Railroads and I just chill out and help her do a little bit of just building and driving. So that's what we did. I like to go back and forth between things. And I got so sick of Helldivers 2 because the game kept just getting worse and worse. They kept updating it, making it shittier. It became unplayable for me. Every time I played it, I start popping blood vessels because it started pissing me off and being frustrating and
Yeah, and I realized that, so I
stressful.
stopped. I mean, I stopped asking to play it, and then everybody else that I was playing it with stopped playing it too. So just like, okay, one day.
Seth and John kept wanting to play it though, but I didn't. So I
I
tried
mean,
suggesting
even
that you
people
play it
like
with
I
them.
work with, I was playing it with them, and then all of a sudden, like everybody just stopped showing up to play, even though we had talked about it. Oh, hey, well, it's Friday after work. We get home, we'll play. Nobody would show up. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, meh, fuck it.
Well, that's why I was
I'm
trying
not
to
playing it.
encourage you to ask Seth and John because they still want to play it. But I'm done. I'm done with Helldivers 2 for a while. And probably indefinitely because now you can't even play the game without making a PSN account.
No, they retracted that.
Well, either way, they still got other issues that I have to stay away from. It's a
Some of these
fucking early
games.
access game. Barely. It's barely even beta.
Anyways,
It's barely functional half the
move on
time
from that.
anymore.
We don't
When the
need
game first came out, it worked out pretty well.
Stop talking about that game. Move on.
Well, like I told you, you can ask Seth and John to play it. They'll play it.
But again, it's like I didn't even reach max level, and I had all the shit, my ship and all the weapons unlocked, and I'm just like, okay, what am I here for now? Nothing. Okay. But yeah, I was gonna say is like I'm looking through the Game Pass games for shits and giggles. One of them is called Brotato. It's a little potato with two submachine guns. I was like, it's Brotato. Like the names that people come up with, and the games people come up with.
Have you seen Goat of Duty?
The what?
Goat of Duty.
I think I've seen something about that.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of goats playing like it's Call of Duty. I never played it, but I got it when it was basically free. Sent it to Seth and John, but I couldn't play it at the time because I had to wait to get a computer and everything. But we never got around to doing it. It's because Seth's internet was shit. It's hard to get it. It's hard to. It was hard to play anything. He has. He's just been sick, so he's been like off and on and going to bed early. He was on yesterday. I tried talking to him and he muted. And I didn't hear from him, and then all of a sudden he went offline at about 10 p.m., 9 p.m., give or take. Which is kind of early for him, so he's probably felt like shit again. It's his sinuses and stuff.
Allergies.
Yep, it's that time of the year. Just doing some... I was just doing some cleaning, sorry if you heard any noise. I know you don't have limited space, but I try to be considerate of that. Dory and I have also been playing Freelancer.
Yeah,
It's probably 2 gigs, 2 or 3 gigs at most, and that's just because of
the stylization from Freelancer
mod.
is just not my cup of tea. That's kind of why I stopped playing the other one that you and John and Seth were playing for a little while, but you could never get out of the ship. You would just be like stuck in a seat on the ship. And I guess they released something where you could get out of the ship, but you can't walk around on the ship. Can't remember what it was called. But that just the way they
You're
stylized
talking
their
about
ships.
Elite Dangerous, and it's up in its DLC.
Yeah, I couldn't get. I just
Downside, you can't walk around your ship, but
Getting out of it was pretty fun. I learned how to do some
Oh, yeah.
stealthing.
yeah, it just was like I don't like the stylization they did with the spaceships and that, and it was just like
I understand that.
and then Freelancer's pretty close to the same stylization in my opinion. So the weird Dorito ships.
Well, I don't know what you mean by Dorito ships. Freelancer's got... It's a different cup of tea. You don't...
Yeah.
You are the ship, basically.
Yeah. I
And
know,
the
I
multiplayer thing
played,
that
I
we
played
were...
the old one.
Yeah, but you never played what we were playing.
Yeah, but I mean, I understand what the Freelancer.
It's an HD
World
mod
is.
overlaid into a modded multiplayer server with extra stuff you can do. With battleships and things you can get, and different licenses you can make that can affect what you can do. And I got her a giant mining ship, and put our money together, which was easy to make. It didn't take that long at all. It just took a little bit of fucking around.
I think in Freelancer I have almost 100,000 again, just from like a couple trips to and from.
You're all weird and staticky.
Yeah, I know I'm all weird and staticky. It's the damn headset.
I thought that was the new one.
She put herself
It
on the
is.
dryer without a anti-static sheet.
that works.
Like ship-wise, like I wish Starfield had a multiplayer, because the ship stuff in that is more my cup of tea. That like NASA Punk, modular, make your own ship,
Well, Vorion will fit you there.
but not voxel based.
Well, here's the thing.
Avorian got you there.
In a Vorion, it's not just voxel. You can resize the shapes and make different shapes out of them.
That's the thing. That's too much mental capacity for me
Alright.
to have to do block by block building of a ship. Where
Well,
Starfield
then hit
here's
the
a module. Put the module
then hit
on.
the preset button and modify
Put
it
another
however you
module on.
want.
Put
There's
another module on.
pull a
Use
ship from
modules.
the workshop. Go to the fucking thing and hit auto generate ship with certain specifications, and then modify it however you want. You can hit an X-ray view to see filter out whatever specific module you want to see specifically, and then replace it inside the ship without ever taking it apart and having to
You
rebuild
lost
it.
me. That's too much.
It's
too
very
much brain
it's
power.
very fucking simple and streamlined.
For you. I understand. You enjoy that. You understand it. My brain. I have brain issues. My brain cannot work that. My brain goes.
Okay, Nordic. Let
There's
me
too
put it
much-
to you. Let me
There's
put it
too
to you
much
like
fiddly
this.
shit for me to deal with.
Just hold on. Stop running your mouth for a second. Listen to me. Would you rather A, oh, I need to change the engine on the ship, have to delete half the entire ship and then figure out how to remake it, or B, click just bring up the engine and then replace it?
I mean, in Starfield, all I have to do is grab it, move it out of the way, grab the one I want, put
You
it
can
where
do
I want.
that in Avorion too. You have
But it's
the
a
option.
whole thing. I don't have to have any extra shit to connect anything. It's just it'll either hook on or it won't hook on. Either the power plant will power it or it won't power it. Either it'll be too heavy and my thrusters won't work properly, and I have to adjust that stuff. But it's full on modules that are if you want to say they're pretty to look at instead of blocks and things that are more rudimentary. Less shit my brain has to worry about. I can just go grab, move, stick on, buy this piece, stick it on there, get it to work, expand it if I need to, extra stuff, whatever,
Alright, we get it. You've
minimalize it.
displayed your ignorance. Let's move the fuck on already.
User disconnected from your channel.
Look, it would have been fine if he just wanted to talk about Starfield. But the subject wasn't that, and he kept being wrong, okay? And I told him that. It's like the same shit, but one's objectively better than the other. Oh, I don't have to do nothing complicated. I could just put an engine on. Like, oh, really? Same thing. Anything, I was actually interested in hearing what he was talking about because the shipbuilding was the only thing that would make me curious about it. But last I checked, which is when the game came out. The shipbuilding was extremely limited. And it was making me anxious because it was just going in circles about different stuff. And I'm trying to stay on topic. That's something I have a hard time doing. I originally was just gonna tell him, just try it, just try something. That slipped my mind. Back at the beginning, whenever he said he's got nothing he can do with us, and it's like that's. I wasn't planning on bringing it back up for another while. I know I wasn't wrong, but I still feel bad about it. I don't know, maybe I did say it. I don't know. But I've got plenty of stuff to try and do. And then he said freelancer was just Dorito ship like Elite Dangerous. And I'm like, no, not exactly. I'd rather play freelancer over Elite Dangerous because you don't have to grind endlessly for days on end. The only reason I'm willing to play Elite Dangerous again is because you can walk around and do other stuff besides just setting the ship all the time. But you have to get the expansion for that. I don't like endlessly farming for little return. That's why I don't like most MMO games. So whenever I do like an MMO, it's the exception and something that I'm willing to do. He says he's set in his ways, but it's not. It's just a mentality he's taken on from things. He constantly don't know what to do, and he's depressive about it because he's in this mindset that's self-destructive and contradictory. There is no such. If you only play a game because it has a tech tree, then what's the fucking point of playing a game? There isn't. Because that's not the game. That's not what the game's supposed to be or be about, or a game in general. What I was gonna tell him about the Hell Let Loose thing before he got all dissectional and got me backpedaling because I had to try to correct him on his mistake. In Hell Let Loose, the reason why I have a problem with that in Hell Let Loose is because I just want to play the fucking game. It's not a fucking job. If I want to use the fucking shotgun, I should be able to use the shotgun. Not clock in daily so I can get my obligatory hours so I can have the ability to unlock it. The game's not even that great to justify it. It's a cool game, but it has a lot of issues. Issues that Red Orchestra 2 does not have, because... And it's very obviously trying to be like Red Orchestra 2. Now, if going down a check tree is part of the point of a game, like a strategy game for example, then fine. Because there's ways, most of those games have ways that you can speed up that process, and it doesn't take you literal, in real life years to fucking do it. You do it in a 30-minute session and have like an entire progression of everything. That's part of the point of a strategy game. Is you figure out the way that you want to build your base and stuff. A lot of strategy games don't even have base building. That's not even a factor. You just bring in units and fight. I didn't even get into that because like just generalizing something like that is wrong in general. And the reason why it's wrong is because it's overgeneralizing a very broad thing. It's just like saying all visual novels are hentai games, or they're all just text boxes with faces on it. It's like, no, there's a lot of games that are technically visual novels, because visual novels is not a very defined subgenre. It's incredibly broad. Have you ever played Persona? Ever played the Persona series? It's technically a visual novel. Because you have text boxes and faces and you have different choices to make. And not all visual novels even give you a choice to make in the dialogue. Most visual novels, you're just there to see the story happen. But there's so much... Technically, any game that has dialogue boxes, and or character portraits to go along with said dialogue boxes is technically a visual novel or a visual novel element. Avorion has real-time strategy game elements in it. You don't have to play it that way because you can play it in multiple different ways. You can play it just like how we did Freelancer, where you have a single ship and you just upgrade it or replace it over time. You literally don't have to touch the shipbuilder. You can literally just play the game using shipyards and stuff around the game. And if you want to play the real-time strategy, you hit a button and you're in top-down strategy view, and you can order your ships around as long as you put a captain on them. But it doesn't make it a strategy game. Technically, it has strategy game elements, just like how Persona isn't a visual novel, even though it technically has a lot of components of a visual novel. It's the same thing as you have games that have roguelite elements. Like, oh, you get to restart and get the little incremental bonus thing. Yeah, but it's not a roguelike. There's a big difference between a roguelike and a roguelite. A light is a game that has the subgenre elements, but is not fully replicating it. An example. Let's say somebody made a game like Doom, but a different, like Chex Quest. Chex Quest isn't technically a Doom-like. It's a Doom-light. Now, it is very close to being a Doom-like, but it's not quite the same. It has different mechanics and stuff in there. But there was a large amount of people that just called every shooter a Doom clone. And it's so ignorant. Got nothing to do with being set in their ways. You just didn't want to try nothing. You could be set in your ways about how you like to shift your fucking manual gears down. But whenever you decide you want to try something or not, that's got nothing to do with being, oh, I'm just set in my ways. It's like, yeah, it's nice to know what you typically like and don't like. But you're literally fucking miserable because you can't decide what you want to do. Because you're in this mentality. That's not being set in your ways. That's something that you pick up on. And you can change. Or at least alleviate. It's a bad habit, basically.
See, I'll try any game once, just
Just-
to see if I like it.
You heard me bring it up to him earlier. Every time I try to play something with him, he just doesn't play, and it's not necessarily his fault. He's in this habit of not bringing shit up when he wants to do it, and
No
then
offense, coming from a military man and thinking of another military man, this is my thought.
huh?
As an ex-military personnel, as him, I'm just gonna say this: you can't blame everything on his fucking brain injury. I've got a fucking brain injury that's still fucking going on to this
But
day.
he didn't say he had a brain injury.
Yes, he did. I was listening to the whole conversation, and I was going to say something, but I kept my mouth shut.
Oh, I didn't think he said that.
He did, and I was going to say something about it because I'm a person that literally has to have a fucking brain scan every fucking year to make sure my brain is fine. Because it's constantly swelling on one side and degrading at the same time, which scares the shit out of the doctors.
Well,
And I
anyways,
still play games that he's like, oh, I can't do it. I'm fucking here playing a game that
Well-
I literally just said you can.
the point is that he's in a state of bad habits. It's got nothing to do with being set in his ways. Being set in his ways is a certain way of performing a preference. It's got nothing to do, like for example, oh, I want to have mustard applied to my sandwich, but I apply it to the left side instead of the right. Someone set in their ways will do it differently because that's just how they prefer to do it. Nordic has his bad, and I'm not talking shit about him. He knows. I try to talk to him, and I care about him. That's why I try to fucking help. But I'm in this bad habit with him as well, where I'm just starting to give fuck all.
Oh, I'm already at that point where the whole fuck everything. Yeah, I've already passed that point. Welcome to my world.
Because for years, John and I both, and Seth, we've all tried to do stuff. And there's been multiple
we
times.
can't catch each other all the time, but hey, we still do sometimes.
Yeah, and then whenever we, remember when we were going to play that one game, and I'm like, let's wait on Nordic. I want him to play it with us. And he never showed up.
That was Valheim.
He did it with Dungeons & Dragons Online, too, at one point.
And then he want to complain about, oh, we're brother. I'm like,
He-
because
well,
you
there's...
didn't want to come back. You kept complaining about, I don't want to do that and all that shit.
Well, there's two reasons why that happened. One, he kept saying nobody wanted to play it when we did. We were just waiting on his ass, and we decided to go on because he kept saying nobody wanted to play it. Because he has this bad habit, and he knows this. I've tried to talk to him about it. I brought it up earlier. To where if he doesn't see you sitting there on the game waiting all the time, he'll think you're too busy, and he won't want to bother with you. Now, I'm not saying it talk shit about him. I know he's trying to be considerate. But I keep telling him to stop that shit. I am trying to not fuck myself up mentally because there was a time whenever, because of the same shit going on with other people in the past, I literally would be paranoid to do anything. I wouldn't play any games or try to do anything because I was scared nobody would want to play with me because they think I would be busy. Because I'm just too considerate for that shit. And I always make myself suffer, and I'm trying not to do that shit anymore. I still do a little bit though, because most people don't understand the pain I go and went through. And that's kind of what I feel with him. He don't understand the pain that I have had to deal with trying to play something with him. He probably does, but it's just hard to. There's a difference between understanding it and like putting it in practice. But anyways, a lot of my issue is like I won't play it because all I can think about playing the game that I want to play is playing with him. So I will physically not play it. And even though I have this really strong urge to want to play it, because I'll get depressed thinking, man, it'd be nice to have so and so here because they said they wanted to play it, so I don't play it. Because that's kind of the point. I don't want to do shit by myself anymore. I don't want to play single player games anymore. I'm tired of being alone. I want to do all this stuff and experience all these things together. And I understand he feels similar. But he's in this bad habit of just disengaging. And then being depressive. And it's like, I've got like so many games that he has. Several of them I know he wanted to play at one point or another. Now, it didn't always line up. But it doesn't mean that it will never happen. And there's several games that we wanted to play. I'm bringing it back to the original point here. He has this bad habit of just disengaging and being like, "Oh, nobody was playing it, so I uninstalled it," and then he won't like. Then he'll go off and do something else. And it's like, Nordic, we waited on you, and now we basically lost interest in it.
I'll be back.
It's just a bad habit. At least that's my take on it. I'm no saint either. Sometimes I'll say I'll do something and then I forget. But then again, I can't expect everyone to always remind me. But if you remember, I would appreciate it, being reminded. And I've talked to Nordic about that too. Got to keep up with me sometimes because I got so much stuff happening to me lately that it's hard for me to keep track of anything.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I last said when you left. There's another factor too. I'm not perfect. I forget shit. But you got
Everybody forgets stuff.
but I've talked to Nordic and everyone about it. I'm like, you gotta remind me. You know, I got a lot I've been dealing with lately, so I keep forgetting what I say we're gonna do and not do. You know, I was gonna give Nordic a game. I don't even remember what it was. I've been trying to remember. Don't even remember it. It's not Nordic's fault, but at least try to like keep up with me. And he tells me I don't want to bother nobody. I'm worried about upsetting you. I'm like, just remind me, please. It feels worse. I don't want to sit here for another 2 years not knowing what to do with you because you didn't say something. Now, that is a bed. I was just saying that like that's the difference between the habit and something that's just being set in your ways about, you know? Like if he was a strategy game player and he liked to build his base a certain way, that's more about being set in your ways. But back to the topic of Avorion, you literally can play the entire game without building a single ship yourself. There's shipyards and stuff around, and you could tell them to build a ship for you, and then you could tell them to build the ship. Because you can get ships that you save, or you can get them from the workshop, and you could tell it to build that ship for you, instead of you hitting the build button and just applying the blueprint. You know, you can literally just play the game like that and never touch it, and you can pay for a full crew for it. You can get a crew in it too, and a captain if the area has it available. If they still do that, I don't know. Orion's had some changes I didn't like, but yeah, that's the that's the end of that. Hell, Nordic don't even have to fucking fly a ship. He can become a fighter on John's ship. There's a co-op mode in the game where you can work a ship together and you can pick who does what. Like he could just be the shooty and John can focus on driving. You know? He literally doesn't have to fly a ship if you don't want to. I'm just saying as options. That's why it's a looted.
Thank you for clarifying. No, I got some picture of what that mode is.
A lot of the time when people bring up stuff about games,
Help them, help you.
a lot of the time whenever people bring up loaded things about games, it's a loaded situation. Because they'll say something that's wrong, but it's hard to pinpoint because there's so many things about it that isn't quite right. That I just have to say, you're wrong. And if they ask why, I have to go into an entire seminar about all the different mechanics in the game. You know? And that's kind of annoying to have to do.
I gotta add my ship here look like a fucking board center zone.
Anyways, I'll